welcome. Oh, it's so nice to see all your faces. Goodness. Hello, hello. Well, my name is Andrea, and I'm a psychic medium. And goodness, I have been doing this work now professionally for the last 14 years. But everything started with me in my early 20s when I went through a really big heart opening. And what changed in me is that I started to see the whole world as just simply love. And as I went further on in my journey, I discovered that I had these abilities. And of course, as many of you, I can tell just by seeing your faces, we have a lot of empaths here, hey? So who's empathic? Who feels what other people feel? Do we have some of those people? Yeah, absolutely. And being an empath is the first step towards developing your psychic abilities. So who's here identifies as psychic? Put up your hands. Yeah, amazing. Who here is a healer? Oh yeah, fantastic. Okay, just gonna let a couple more people in. So today we are going to be talking about a really, really important topic, and that is how to deal with challenging people. Has anybody here ever, come across a challenging person in their life? Yeah, for sure. Maybe have you been that challenging person in somebody else's life? Yeah, totally, right? So I'm just going to grab my little slideshow here and we are going to get started. Awesome. And hit share screen. And here we go. Excellent. Present. This takes another second to kick in here, and we have a couple more people joining us as well. So welcome to all of our new people. Okay, you're allowed to do this now. Here we go. Oh, technology. What a beautiful gift to be able to have technology during this time and for us to be able to gather together. And that is what is so incredible. So this workshop is called Call Back Your Power. And that is with me, Andrea Zonnis. And there's my website too, if you want to check that out. Beautiful. So this is what we're going to be covering. We're going to be talking about people that we call energy vampires. The other way to phrase this would be shadow archetypes. Then we're going to talk about some tips for dealing with difficult people. And then we're going to do a fantastic meditation that is all about calling back your energy. And if we have some time at the end, we're going to do a card pull or some questions, but you are welcome to email me afterwards if we do run out of time. All right, here we go. Lovely types of energy vampires. So these are the ones that we're going to be talking about today. So there's the poor me. There's the nonstop talker who just keeps talking and doesn't stop talking and keeps talking and then talks some more. You'll probably come across those. The close talker, the negative Nancy, and the blamer. So who's come across some of these archetypes? Have you seen any of these people? Run into them? Maybe you work with them. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe it's your sister. Yeah, for sure. So how does it work? So energy vampires, it's just another name for people that are wounded. And that's the one thing that we really have to remember in this. And sometimes these wounds and traumas, they cause them to want to suck energy or pull energy from other people in order to maintain their own energetic balance. A lot of people that you come across, they don't really know that they're doing this necessarily. And really, we're each guilty of this at one time or another within our lives. So we're not here to blame anyone. We're here to find solutions so that we can be the best that we can be. So I love this quote. Our healing and personal development is a gift for everyone around us. Excellent. So the poor me. So often their life is in crisis. They can think or feel that the world is against them. There's this feeling that comes up where they never think that they're good enough. And you can tell them how amazing and how beautiful and how wonderful they are, but they never quite soak it in. Their problems are always much worse than your problems. And sometimes they can have challenges in accepting responsibility or be making excuses. So, possible root causes of this codependency, maybe some depression, hopelessness, victim mentality. Maybe there's been some abuse that's come forward in their lives. So the poor me and how to deal with it. And like, there's different methods depending on how close you are with the person. So I really want to clarify that. If it's somebody that you're just like running into on the street, it's easier to cut the energy and go than if it's somebody that you love or that you're really close to. So the first thing that you want to remember is that it's not your job to fix them. And as an empath and a helper, that is one of the greatest lessons that you're going to learn. Sometimes the best way to help is by not helping and to really offer assistance. But if your assistance isn't accepted, you have to accept that as well. So if this is somebody that has this chronically, and I'm talking like chronically all the time, it's nice to listen, but you have to have limitations around it. So what I've seen is that after about 5 to 10 minutes, that's when your energy will start to really lower. And I'm sure that you've had these experiences where you've been around people and you walk into a room and you're having a great time, and then you come across somebody, and next thing you know, your good mood goes from to so listen, but give yourself a time limit in the listening. Simple things like, I'm sorry that you're going through this, and I really hope things get better for you. If this is a friend or family member, sometimes it's a good thing to take them for a walk, because if you are empathic or somebody that absorbs a lot of energy from people, if you keep walking and keep moving, that helps you to burn some of that energy so that you're not absorbing it all. Keeping your energy lifted or keeping your energy high is like a really wonderful way to be able to combat this as well. And it's really important to have a clear understanding between empathy, feeling what somebody's feeling, and sympathy, which is like, oh, I feel so bad for you. Because really, when we're able to keep our energy high, those high vibes, they help to bring up those lower ones. But if somebody's already feeling low and then we bring ourselves to that energetic level, then it's a little bit more challenging to be able to bring ourselves back up again. So raise people up, bring them up to where you are. And most importantly, it's all about setting boundaries and really paying attention to your comfort zone and how you're feeling in these different situations. So it's empowering yourself to be able to say, okay, I gotta go, peace out. So if this is you, if this is something that you struggle with, find gratitude. Gratitude is so amazing. It'll help to bring up your vibrations every time. Also appreciate how far you've come, right? Because like each of us in this journey, we have learned so much and we're constantly growing. But kind of like a tree, we don't always notice the subtle changes that are going on within ourselves. So really appreciate yourself. Also look for solutions. Because if there is something that is like, there and there and there, and it won't go away, you're going to want to find a creative solution to be able to help you through this. And most importantly, take time to honor yourself and your emotions and allow yourself to process all of them. Wonderful. Moving right along. The over talker. So who's come across an overtalker before? Have you seen these people show up? Yeah, they start talking and then they never start talking, and you try to get a word in edgewise, but it can be really difficult because they really talk and they talk, and then they interrupt you when you're talking as well. And yeah, it's a challenge. So possible root causes is sometimes these people have social anxiety. There's a need for intention. Maybe they're a little controlling. Maybe it's just bad hearing. It's funny how it can be something that simple. Maybe daddy issues, not wanting to listen or absorb outside information, or they could be avoiding their own feelings. All right. So how to deal with the overtalker. Oh, here we go. So when they're talking at you, just take a moment and try to really think about what it is that they're trying to express to you. What's the intention? What's the core of what they're really trying to bring forward? And then what you're going to have to do, and this is a hard one for empaths, is interrupt them. Interrupt them and then say back at them what they are saying, because everybody does have to breathe, and so it's watch for the breath and jump in at that moment. The other tool that you can use, and this is especially if this is somebody that is a close person in your life, is that you have a really honest conversation with them, and just let them know that hey, I really love you and I really appreciate you, but sometimes you talk too much and I'm just not able to get a word in edgewise. Is it possible that we can use a phrase like pause or just stop for a moment? Because somebody that has this challenge, they're going to want to know about it, because they're going to want to know why people are avoiding them, right? And so if it is someone close that you really feel a really great love connection with, really be honest. And then the other, the get out phrase for the person at the grocery store, or the person that you run into in the park is like, oh, I'm busy right now, gotta run, see you later, and just hopping out and beelining it. All right, so what happens if this is you? Simply have awareness and really, really make the effort to listen to the other person and to ask them questions as well. Work with affirmations to be able to build your confidence and to know that the other person is really hearing what you have to say, and just give attention to how other people are feeling. Lovely. All right, the Space Invader. Oh, yes. So with this Space Invader energy, thankfully, this isn't something that we're having to deal with too much right now. With COVID, it's one of those blessings in disguise, because we have to stay 6 feet away. But I don't know about you, but I've run into a couple of situations where I've had to say, okay, thank you, but I need you to step back right now. So sometimes these people like to get in your face. I love traveling through South America. The people there are amazing, but their personal bubbles are a lot different from the personal bubbles that we have in Canada, and they like to get a lot closer. So they don't necessarily recognize when you're feeling uncomfortable that they're in your space. And sometimes they're just really touchy-feely people too, right? There's those people out there that just just really like to touch people. And so it could come from a possible need for intimacy or loneliness, or maybe they just come from a family of close talkers, right? That's just where they came from, what they do. Awesome. So how to deal? Use your body and strong body language. Okay, if somebody's coming up too close, take 2 steps back. Right? I know that sounds really simple, but just take those steps back. If they keep stepping in towards you, just subtle hand movement. Okay, thank you, right? And then you can just let them know, if you're not a touchy person and they really are a touchy person, just say hey, not really a touchy person. Would you mind giving me a little bit of space? And it's another, it's again, it's polite, because when we're not telling people how we feel and we're keeping that inside, we're not doing a service to those people, right? And the important thing is to be kind and also to really watch your own tone as well when you're speaking to people. And I'm sure many of you out there that have partners and husbands have learned all about the tone game when you're wanting to communicate and express what you feel. So if this is you, if you're that touchy-feely person, just pay attention to the other person's body language, because you can pick up really quickly if the person feels comfortable with the touchiness or they don't. And the other thing is just don't take it personally when somebody backs away. And the other effort you can make is just give people a little extra space. Awesome. Here we go, the constant complainer. Yes. This negative Nancy can't seem to find anything good in their lives. Have you ever gone out for dinner with somebody and you're having dinner and you're just like loving your meal and it's so delicious and they're sitting there and they're complaining about their meal. And it's so hard when you're just trying to enjoy the experience. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, I don't really like it, but I'm going to eat it anyways. Or, oh, waiter, I need to change this over. You know the drill. So constant complainers, they're going to be looking for things to complain about. And this could be pretty much anything. This could be the news, this could be the weather. They claim to be realists, but if you're only seeing the negative, then you're not seeing the positive and you're not seeing both sides. So is that really reality? Because of course in this life, there's like a good mix of the light and the dark, the positive and the negative. And when we find the balance between these two worlds is where we start to find the truth, or at least our own personal truth. So possible root causes is sometimes these people feel that they're misunderstood. And so they're using complaining as a way to try to connect with people. I see this happen a lot in workplaces where people will start complaining about their coworkers as a way to be able to really connect with their other coworker. Sometimes it's just overthinking, perhaps a feeling of them just like feeling stuck or not feeling empowered to be able to change their situation when it comes up, or insecurity. Maybe it's just perfectionism. Maybe they just have like crazy high expectations that come forward. So how to deal with the constant complainer. So I love white light. I use white light for everything. If I'm speeding and I know that I'm going through a yellow light, you better be sure I'm wrapping up a big bubble of white light all around my vehicle. So what you can do if you know that you are running into a constant complainer is put up your white light bubble. If you're really wanting to strengthen this bubble, what I'd recommend is just visualizing a golden shimmer on the outside. And then I like to set the intention that any negative energy that wants to come into my bubble, that it bounces off my bubble, it transforms into love and is returned home to sender. The other way to deal with a complainer, especially if this is somebody like your boss, right? Use kindness and compliments. Just like kill them with the kindness, kill them with the compliments, because we have to understand that negativity is contagious. And so if there are like challenging things that are coming up in your life or somebody else's, sometimes we can absorb that energy and then we take it on, which is really difficult sometimes. So if this is you, like have the awareness. There's good and bad sides to everything. Ask yourself, maybe are you overthinking this a little bit? Find the positives to be able to balance the negative thinking. You need 3 compliments for every negative thing that you say, giving those compliments to yourself. And making sure that you are practicing self-care, which is absolutely key. All right, the last one, the blamer. So their problems, they're always somebody else's fault. They have trouble taking responsibility for their words and actions sometimes. And sometimes they can be a little aggressive or angry. And so, like, for empaths, when they deal with this energy, there's that sudden like kind of feeling. It's like conflict. So the root cause of this is perhaps denial. Maybe there's some sadness in there, because of course, like, anger is just a mask for sadness, and that's a really important thing to remember. Guilt, like low self-esteem. Maybe there's the perfectionism. Maybe there's some projection that's going on. All of these kinds of things. So the blamer, how to deal with the blamer. So first and foremost, do not, I repeat, do not take them personally. If you've noticed that they have been complaining about many other things, there is a very high chance that they're going to be complaining about you too. And so it's important to recognize that and then say, okay, well, this isn't mine. I'm not taking this on. If you are the person that's being blamed in this situation, you can just have a very simple phrase such as, well, let me think about that and get back to ya, right? And then it buys you a little bit of time, especially if you're dealing with somebody whose energy is like really like ramped up. You want to give them a little bit of time to kind of like calm down and cool down, so that you guys can actually be able to take a look at the situation. So treat them like a child having a temper tantrum, right? So if you have dealt with children and you have a 3-year-old, for example, who like really wants the toy, but they've already gotten 2 toys that day, so they're not getting any more toys. If you start yelling back at the 3-year-old, you're going to have an even bigger explosion on your hands, right? So the secret is just to stay calm, do not react, and then really look for the core issue of what's going on. If there is anger and it is being directed at you, remove yourself from the situation. You do not have to stay in any situation where you are being disrespected or belittled in any way, okay? So really empower yourself just to leave. Gotta go. Peace out. So if this is you, practice kindness. Reassure yourself that everyone has their own way of being in the world. Watch for your triggers and know what those are. And responsibility. And responsibility is like it's like the core of spiritual enlightenment, is knowing that we are responsible for ourselves, for our words, and for our actions. Beautiful. So assert your boundaries. This is the review here. First and foremost, just say no. So I'm going to get everybody. I want you to say it. Say no. Do you think you can take my dog for a walk next week? No. I'm moving and I could really use some help, even though I know that you've helped me move the last 3 times that I've moved. And I'm so sorry that I wasn't there that time that you needed help from me. What do you say? No. Exactly. So empower yourself with the word no, because again, we are responsible only for ourselves, right? We're not responsible for other people and other people's reactions. So just empower yourself. If you need to walk away or you need to hang up the phone, do it. Please do it. It's going to save you so many headaches, because again, it's not your job to fix people, right? Unless somebody comes to you specifically for help and you guys set a time where you're going to address the situation. I mean, that's different. Or you're a healer and you're booking somebody in for an appointment, right? But when it comes to other people in our lives, it's not our job to fix them, okay? And of course, like, be honest, but like do your best to really be kind in your honesty. right? Because like kindness is really key. And it's finding the balance. Often like empaths will sacrifice the kindness for themselves, to be like kind to other people, in order to make them happy, right? Because as empaths, sometimes we can struggle with not making people happy, because then they feel down, and then when they feel down, then we feel down, right? But at the same time, that's where that beautiful bubble of white light comes in, of holding our own energy. So draw lines and stick to them. That's the thing about boundaries, is that you can't just say it once and expect everybody just to catch on. You're going to have to say it a bunch of times for people to really be able to understand. And of course, don't be afraid to excuse yourself from the conversation. And you're allowed to do this. You're allowed to say, okay, again, peace out. And just like check in with yourself too. Like, after, if you've been triggered by one of these personality types, do that check in. Was this like, something old that's coming up to the surface from like, growing up? Was this like an old pain from like school? Was this like a really heated conversation that you had with your mother? Check in with yourself and do the healing work to be able to release this energy, because as you start to release it, you're not going to be attracting it as much into your energetic field. Do your best to keep your energy high. And if your energy is really low, maybe you don't want to be around a whole bunch of people. Maybe you do. But just that idea of like, like going in with like high spirits to the best of your ability. And most importantly, find forgiveness, right? Forgive them, forgive yourself, and move on. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So, do we have any questions about any of this so far? Please just turn on your microphone and jump right in if there's any questions that I can help you with.
I have a question.
No questions. I just wanted to say that I screenshot pretty much all of those, and it was very informative. So thank you.
You're welcome. And if you want, send me an email and I will send you the whole PDF presentation so that you have all of those too. Okay. Awesome. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Perfect. I will.
Okay, I'm trying. There's multiple screens here, so maybe is there one of those little hand things? The reactions in the bottom there. Okay, Teresa.
Okay, I'm a newbie in this whole field, and you said two things in your presentation that I don't really understand. One of them is, are you a healer at the very beginning? Like what is the definition of that? And the other is, what is a white light bubble?
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for being here, Teresa, and like stepping into this journey. So, a healer is anyone that's here to help people and makes it their life's mission to help people, right? So a nurse can be a healer, a social worker can be a healer. There's like a whole alternative medicine practice around massage and acupuncture. So it's anybody that's here that wants to help. That's the main definition. So white light bubble, awesome. So this is a visualization. And so we're gonna get everybody to do this all together. So I'm gonna get you to take a second and just to close your eyes. I just want you to really, really connect with your heart and see if you can hear your heart beating. Taking a few deep breaths. And from here, I'm just going to get you to visualize or feel a beautiful bubble of white light all around you. And I'm going to get you to visualize sitting in the middle of this beautiful ball of white light. And then we're going to visualize or see within our mind's eye a golden shimmer all around this bubble. And just feel the safety and the warmth of the unconditional love of this beautiful universe that loves us so much. And then we're going to set the intention that anybody's negative energy that wants to come into our bubble, it's going to bounce off our bubble. It's going to transform into love and be returned home to sender. So this is a beautiful exercise about learning how to hold your space or hold your energy. And so what it is Teresa, do you know about auras? Have you heard about those before? Yeah, okay, awesome. So the bubble of white light is what is helping to strengthen our aura. And oftentimes when we have like a pain or like a trauma, what can happen in our aura is that it creates a little spike or a little break there. And so by putting up that bubble of white light, we are sealing in our aura, because of course other people have little breaks or little challenges that are going on within their auras. And when our aura could bumps into their aura, well, sometimes things get picked up. But what's beautiful is that it's energy, so it can all be released. And that's the really important part to remember, which is going to bring us into our next exercise, which is all about calling back our energy. Yeah, because sometimes we've left situations and we feel deflated, we feel defeated, right? But you don't have to stay that way. That's the really important thing, is that each of you has the power through intention, through our thoughts, and through the power of our heart and souls to be able to call that energy back. So that's what we're going to do. Awesome. So I'm just going to get everybody to get real cozy in whatever space that you're in. Just get like nice and cozy. Lovely. Beautiful. So the first part is just relax. I'm going to get you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath right into your belly. And breathing in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. I want you to feel or visualize with each breath your body filling up with light, filling with love. And with each breath out, I want you to exhale any stress, any tension, any overthinking. Let it all go. And keep the breathing nice and steady. So visualize that negative energy as it's leaving your body through your breath. And as you breathe in, invite the love into your heart. And keep breathing deeply. And just take a moment and just drop your shoulders. Relax your jaw. And let your tongue just rest on the bottom of your mouth. And just keep the breaths going. So together we call upon our angels, our spirit guides and ancestors of the highest light to be here with us today. We call upon our archangels and the power of the divine creator to help us now to call back our energy. Woo! You guys have some amazing spirits. Just feel the energy. Feel the presence. Sometimes you may get a little tingle as spirits start to come in, but just feel the connection to this beautiful, loving energy. Know that you are safe, you are protected, you are loved and accepted and respected for the whole person that you are. And just keep breathing in and out, going at your own steady pace. So allow a wave of calm, peaceful energy to come over your head, to flow down your body, to wash away any thoughts from the day, any worry, any fear. Surrender all of this to Mother Earth. Hand it over. Mother Earth will take care of it for you because she is the great transformer. Allow her to take your fear and to turn it into flowers. So we're going to call upon that beautiful bubble of white light again. So visualize that beautiful bubble of white light. And see yourself in the middle. Feel the weightlessness and the warmth of being supported by this loving energy. Nice deep breaths. So in the base of your pelvis, I'm going to get you to visualize a beautiful ball of red light and breathing it in and breathing out. And in your mind's eye, say, I am safe. Now just below your belly button and between your lower back, visualize a beautiful bubble of orange light. And repeat and say to yourself in your mind, I am powerful. Breathe it in and breathing out. Now, right in the middle of your tummy and the middle of your back, visualize a beautiful ball of yellow light. And repeat to yourself within your mind's eye, I am fearless. And breathe it in and breathe it out. Now underneath your breastbone and more the top middle of your back, visualize a beautiful ball of green light. And say to yourself, I am accepted. And next, I'll get you to bring attention to your throat and the back of your neck. And between these two places, visualize a beautiful blue light and see that ball of energy. And then say to yourself, I am understood. And breathing it in and breathing it out. And now between your forehead and the back of your head is your third eye. So I'm going to get you to visualize here a beautiful ball of indigo light. This is a bluey, purpley color. And repeat within your mind, I am connected. And breathing it in and breathing it out. Now, right on top of our heads, we're going to visualize a beautiful ball of violet light. This is a light purple color. Seeing that ball of violet light, and say to yourself, I am loved. So I'm going to get you to take a moment and just feel your toes. Get a sense of where your toes are and your feet. And again, any tension that's in your body, allowing that tension just to leave through your feet now. And from your feet, I'm going to get you to imagine or visualize roots growing out of the bottom of your feet, moving through the floor, through the foundation of the building that you are in. Seeing these roots go through the dirt and through the rocks, through all of the layers of this planet, right down to the core. Visualize these roots wrapping themselves around the core of Mother Earth. And from these roots, feel the warmth, the love radiating up these roots, filling your body with a sense of calm, trust, and relaxation. And just keep the breath going. So now we are going to start to call back our energy. I ask that any energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind in the last day return to me now. I want you to visualize this energy returning as streams of light, filling your aura and filling your body with that beautiful return of your own soul's light and soul's energy. I ask that any energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind in the last week return to me now. Just see that energy filling you up. We're going to breathe it in and breathe it out. Remembering that beautiful rooted connection that we have to Mother Earth as well. Next, I ask that all energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind in the last month return to me now. And just breathing it in and breathing out. Know that your guides and angels are here for you, protecting you, keeping you safe. I ask that any energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind in the last year return to me now. Just breathing it in, breathing it out. Allowing all of your soul's energy to return. I ask that any energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind in the last decade return to me now. Breathing in, breathing out. really taking those deep breaths, allowing that energy to rebalance with the energy of where you are now, feeling the rootedness. Next, I ask that any energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind throughout this entire lifetime return to me now. And just breathe through this as the energy returns. Allowing that beautiful light to fill your being. We have one more. I ask that any energy that was taken, given away, or accidentally left behind in all of my lifetimes return to me now. And just take a couple moments with this. Keep the breaths going nice and deep. Beautiful. You've got this. Feel that beautiful soul's energy. This is your energy. You are so brilliant. You are so beautiful. And you are so powerful. So very slowly and only as you're ready, I want you just to start to wiggle your toes. We're just going to come back into the physical body now. And just give your ankles a little turn. Maybe give your calves a little squeeze. Just feeling the wriggle in your hips just a little bit. Feeling the energy come back into your shoulders. So you may feel a little lightheaded. And if you feel a little lightheaded, I want you to go back to the rooting exercise. So visualizing those roots again and feeling that connection to the physical, coming back into the physical body and into the physical form. Beautiful. And I'll just give you a couple seconds there just to come back. So how did that feel? Does anybody feel comfortable in sharing a little bit? Just you can put up your hand and I'll call on you. If you need any assistance, let me know. Kalinda, is your hand up?
That was, wow. That was so powerful for me. Oh, I could feel like the breath, like I could feel like pieces of I did of almost my soul coming back together, like, and every time the breath, I could take a little bit of a breath, and each time the breath was just like longer and longer. My mouth would just open up wider and wider, almost like my mouth was opening up wider, almost like a bigger breath of air, or more of the soul was coming in. Do you have that on tape? I'd like to do that more. Seriously, like.
Well, there's going to be a recording that I'm making right now. So I'm just going to write my email in the chat. So if you guys are wanting a copy of this recording, first here is my my website, and then my email address is psychicsong@gmail.com. And I'm really happy to share this with all of you because I think that this is so important to do this work to fill ourselves back up again. Because we, especially as people that are helpers in this world, we do leave a lot of energy behind sometimes. And so it's really empowering to know that we can bring this energy back. Bonnie.
question.
Hmm.
As a healer, sometimes because one of the things you said is the energy that you've given.
Mhm.
So when we're doing that, I actually didn't want to call that energy back.
Okay.
Because wouldn't you be taking back some of the healing then?
So when we're talking about energy, energy is unlimited because we're talking about spiritual energy. So even when you're giving energy, the energy isn't your personal energy. You are the channel. You're the one that's bringing the energy through you and bringing it to them. So no, it isn't about calling back like any of the help that you've given, because like as the channel, you're just connecting them to the limitless energy that's out there in the world. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That was a good question that you asked, because I was worried too about because sometimes there's good energy and bad energy, and I was wondering by energy, I was like, oh no, I hope I'm not calling all energy back to me, because I'm like, oh no, what if I get bad energy? So that was one thing I was thinking while I was doing that, because you didn't say that before, because I was like, energy could be any energy, right? So that's a good question she asked. I was
Absolutely.
thinking that.
Yeah, and that's why it's really nice to put up the bubble of white light,
Oh,
because the bubble of white light is our protection.
okay.
And that's why we take time to call in our angels and spirit guides as well, because they're going to help to transmute that energy. Because like really, like even like what we see as like negative energy or darkness, like there's so much potential within that, right? And that's just like pieces and parts of ourselves that we need to give more love to. That's what's really important, right? And so we're just calling back our soul's power. But if you've healed from something, you're not going to be calling back any negative energy, because it's already been healed. It's already been transformed by this beautiful power of the universe. Awesome. Any other questions or anybody that would like to share their experience? Katie. Katie White, you're up.
So first, I just want to say that I really appreciate you offering to supply us with that meditation, because I feel like it's going to be very beneficial multiple times in the future for whatever reason. It's just a really nice thing to go back to and be able to call back that energy, because like you said, energy that you're accidentally giving away and might not be aware of that you're doing that, right? So that's a big one for me, absolutely. And yeah, it was really powerful. I really enjoyed it. And I do think that when you're calling back your energy, if you're setting the intention that all that energy that you're bringing back to you is all that loving and just the energy that you need, then that's the energy you're calling back, right? I think, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm all about light and love. You know, there's enough of the other stuff in the world. So all of the answers like we can find in this world can be found through love, just as much as they can be found through any other method.
So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Katie. My pleasure. And I'm so happy that you guys are going to use this energy, because it's going to make you so much more powerful. And then you're going to be able to help so many more people. And that's what's so beautiful, is that when we empower each other, when we really come together and shine our lights together, it just shines as this beacon. And it just helps to bring everybody up in this world. And this world needs it so much. And this world needs all of you so much to be in your strength and to be in your power. It's just so important. Lovely. Harbinder.
I learned from someone else that when you're pulling back the energy as well, if you're doubting of what the energy is coming back at you, at the end, actually, every time when you were saying those words right at the end and saying and pulling back, I added loving, healing consciousness.
Beautiful.
So that, so that you know that that's what you want back. So I don't know if that will help for others as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about all of these tools, is that you can make them your own, right? Like, add those pieces in that really work for you, because you're going to be hearing a whole bunch of different viewpoints and perspectives over the weekend. And if there's viewpoints that really resonate with you, you take those pieces and those nuggets of gold and you keep them. If there's parts that don't, chuck them. There's so much more information that's out there, but really empower yourself to trust your intuition and to trust with what feels right for you. That's what's really important. Awesome. I think, okay, Teresa.
Just really quick, I feel like such a newbie, but like, how do you stay awake? You guys all have these lovely experiences. I fell asleep. I don't remember. I can recall probably halfway in, and then you're saying, and then I'm done. I've got nothing. I went to sleep. I'm off. I have no recollection of a whole lot of it. So how do you stay awake? Like, how do you get that experience that I'm hearing about?
Well, the thing to remember is that, like, even subconsciously, you're absorbing the information and you're absorbing the words. And if what your body really needs is sleep, then that's a beautiful thing to be able to honor that.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And you're going to have the recording, so you can do it again if you want. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, was there anybody else that had any questions or comments today? Okay, beautiful. Well, I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming out this evening. It has really been such an honor to be able to share all of this with you and to share this space with you. I would love it if you would like my Facebook page. I put out a lot of blogs and inspirational posts and videos, and I have free reading events that I do as well. So I'm just going to put this in the chat. So if you could like my Facebook page, I would really appreciate that, because that way we get to stay in touch. There's also a newsletter on my website. I do send out a monthly newsletter. I'm the organizer of an event called the Intuitive Arts Festival. I'm from Victoria, BC. This has been going on for the last 13 years. So our last festival, we had to move online, but we had, goodness, like over 170 people participating. And normally when we meet in person, we have about 800 or so. So it's been a really fantastic community event. So hopefully, I'm really hopeful that this fall that we're going to be able to meet in person again, and we're going to be able to share that physical space. And I'm just so excited about that. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. And I'm going to give you a little bit of time. I think Paisley has the next workshop, and she's fantastic. So you guys are going to absolutely love that workshop. So I would definitely say, like, go and check it out. And yeah, and if you have any comments or questions or concerns, just send me an email, and I'm happy to help. Okay. So lots of love to everybody. Have a wonderful evening and take care.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.